Okay, hello everyone. Let's go over our problems for today. So the notes we took on quadratic formula should be on page 79. We fill out this whole big worksheet. Remember, this is the quadratic formula. You have it right here. And you have a few problems worked out, hopefully this entire worksheet, of how to solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. Okay, so if you at all are confused, remember you have these notes. I'm going to go over the first couple of problems from the assignment today, the whiteboard problems, and I will do the third one with you because there's a little something we have to do before you get started on that third one. So page 80, title it Whiteboard's quadratic quadratic formula. Just make sure you have that title, just following our normal procedures. And I'm going to go ahead and write down the quadratic formula, so you don't have to keep flipping back and forth. So at the top of your page, we're going to do, you ready? You ready for the song? Opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yep, I know you missed that song so much. You're just waiting all week for me to sing that. Alright, remember a quadratic function is in the format ax squared. So a is always in front of x squared, plus bx. B is always in front of x, and then plus c. C represents the constant, the number that's by itself. It does not have an x. So to solve a quadratic formula, to figure out the x-intercepts, this tells us the x-intercepts of the graph. You're going to use that formula. All right, so our first problem was this one right here, 2x squared plus 3x minus 20 equals 0. So go ahead and I'll take a few seconds before I flip this. If you have not solved it already, go ahead and pause the video so you can go ahead and solve it before I show the answer. Okay, so a is in front of x squared. A is 2. B is 3, the number in front of x. C is negative 20. Hopefully you paid attention to that negative, okay, because that's going to change a few things. Alright, so replacing the letters with the numbers, replacing these letters in this formula with the numbers, you end up with this as your first step. Now remember from here, it looks crazy, but it's really not that much. It's just PEMDAS, okay? We had to square this 3, turn into a 9. And remember to think of this as negative 4 times 2 times negative 20. 2 negatives is going to make that a positive 160. And then this 4 came from 2 times 2. Okay, all that's really left to do here is adding these numbers. That's the next thing we can do. That turns into 169. Now remember, you can type this right into your calculator. If you know the square root of 169, more power to you. It's actually 13. But I'm going to practice typing this in your FSA approved calculator with you right now. So if you don't have your calculator, go ahead and grab it. Quickly grab your calculator. Let's do this. You want to get as much practice in using this calculator as possible because you know you do have to put things in backwards pretty much. So for this negative 3, I have to hit the 3. Ew, the button is like sticky. 3 negative. Hit the negative button after you hit the 3. I'm going to start with the plus sign. We're going to do plus 169 square root button, and then you have to hit equals. And last step, divided by 4 equals. So that's 2.5, which is 5 over 2 if you just do it with the math. So this answer is 2.5. All right, practice typing it in with the minus sign. So this plus or minus, remember it breaks up into two problems, one where you add and one where you subtract. So practice typing that in. You're going to hit 3 negative minus 169 square root equals divided by 4 equals -4. -4 for that answer. Hopefully those are the answers that you got. I know some of you don't have a calculator at home, so if you got to this setup right here, that is good. But maybe you can Google FSA calculator and practice on that, because there is that pop-up one that they will give you for the FSA when you're taking FSA. Okay, the next problem we had was this one, -9x squared plus 7x plus 4 equals 0. Go ahead, pause the video if you need more time to finish this problem. All right, A is -9, B is 7, and C is 4. So taking out the numbers and filling in the letters. Sorry, other way around. Sorry, my cat just jumped up here and I'm very distracted. So, hi Luna. Hey kitty. Okay, anyway. Replacing the letters with the numbers, you will have this set up, square the 7, multiply -4, -9, +4, that will give you a +144. And you're going to end up adding those. That's where this 193 comes from. All that's being divided by -18, and these should be your two final answers. Alrighty, third problem. This is the one I will be working out with you. You need to see it written out. So we have 8x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals -7. If your work took up more than this one page, that's fine. Just number the next page 80 as well. So it's going to be harder for me to keep up with how many pages you're using for this. So if you use more than one page, just number more than one of these. Okay, so if you use this page as well, number this page 80. Not 81, just keeping it all on the same track, the same page. Get it? Okay, so we have 8x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals -7. Remember, step 1, you have to make sure this is equal to 0. This is not equal to 0. We need to make it 0. So I'm going to do the opposite of what I see. To move it over the equal sign, I'm going to add the 7, making this -7 0. -7 plus 7 becomes 0. I'm going to add it to its like term, which is -15. So we have 8x squared plus 7x minus 8. -15 plus 7 is -8. Now it equals 0. So we have the A value is 8, B is 7, and C is -8. So using the formula opposite of B, B is positive, I'm going to make it negative. -7 plus or minus square root of 7 squared minus 4 times 8 times -8, A and C, all over 2A, 2 times 8. So we need to do PEMDAS and simplify what's under this square root sign. -7 plus or minus 49. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32 times negative 8 will give us a positive 256. All divided by 2 times 8 is 16. All right, 49 plus 256 is 305. That is what's under the square root sign. So I'm going to break this apart. We're going to do negative 7 plus the square root of 305 divided by 16. Figure out what that is. And negative 7 minus the square root of 305 divided by 16. So let's practice putting that in the calculator. We're going to hit 7 negative plus 305 square root equals divided by 16 equals 0.65. That is one of our answers. And the next one, subtracting instead of adding, 7 negative minus 305 square root equals divided by 16 equals negative 15.29. There's a 0 next to the 9, so it's going to stay. Did I say 15? I didn't even see where the decimal was. Negative 1.53. I totally thought the decimal was right there. Negative 1.53. The 9 next to the 2 will make it a 3. Okay, so that was the work for number 3. Please be sure you are numbering your problems. Later in the week, I will ask for a random problem as a submission, as a grade. All right, final question. This was number 4. Go ahead and pause the video if you need more time to complete it. And here was the answer to number 4. Same process as the other 3 problems. Okay, so this was a review day. We had started quadratic formula before break. Hope all of your breaks are going well or went well. We're now starting school again. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. One more thing. Comment on this post on Edsby if you have any questions. You can message me on Edsby if you don't want to make your comment public or your question public. Just be sure you're reaching out and asking questions when you are confused. If multiple people comment and message, we can set up a Zoom conference to relieve your questions. Alrighty, and that is officially it. Have a good night. Bye.